Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. It is Jackstown. So for today's video, it's going to be a quick one, guys. I won't take up too much of your time, but I just quickly wanted to talk about why I feel like these NBA Finals between the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks is significant, not just for the legacies on the line for the individuals in the series, but for the big picture, the significance of the series itself, and why I would consider it historic. So let's just get into that real quick. So guys, the reason why I feel like the finals this year in the bigger picture are significant, and I would classify them as historic, is because of the two teams playing. We have Phoenix and we have Milwaukee. Now, the reason why this matters is because both of these teams are small market teams. Now, if you're an NBA fan or just a sports fan in general, I'm pretty sure you know what it means to be a small market team. Now, this is a team that plays in a location that doesn't necessarily get as much media coverage and overall isn't as big of a destination for free agents, and they may not have as much money to spend, and so they can be classified as smaller market. For example, in the NBA, you could say the Lakers, the Clippers, the Knicks, the Nets, the Bulls, the Pistons, the Heat. Those are big market teams because of the cities they play in, and because overall they seem to have a larger amount of free agents come their way, and they usually have more money to spend, and just overall you see them on national TV more, and maybe their teams more often than not are competitive. But then you have the Bucks and the Suns, who don't necessarily have those luxuries. They may not be good as often. They usually don't get as many marquee free agents. That's why for them specifically it's important to draft really well and make good trades, kind of like what they've done, the Bucks, for example, with Giannis, and they got Chris Middleton when he was really young and wasn't really valued. And then for the Suns, who drafted Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and then they made the trade for Chris Paul. These two teams are perfect examples of how to build a team towards contention with the small markets that they're in. They used their disadvantage to their advantage. They did a perfect job of building up a team the only way a small market team really can build up. And so that's why I think it's significant that these two teams made the finals, because what it shows is that just because you're in a small market, it doesn't mean that you can't be really good and build your team up the right way. And then in the big picture, it shows that in the NBA, there's still a good amount of competitive balance, because it's been a long time since we've had two small market teams make it to the finals. And I believe the last time that happened was between the Spurs and the Cavaliers in 2007. And even then, it was totally different than now, because that was before the super team era, which you could say started about a year after that, when Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen teamed up in Boston, and then especially when LeBron went to Miami to join forces with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. And so basically what this means is that in this super team era, where it's all about free agents and just building up the best team possible with the amount of money that you have without trying to be patient and draft, in this era, when it's super difficult for small market teams, seemingly on paper, the Suns and Bucks still both made it to the finals as small market teams. And then aside from that, this is the first time, I believe, since 1974 that no player on either roster has won a championship. And I think that's great for the NBA, that we have new upcoming teams. There's still parity. Small market teams can still make it to the finals if they manage their team well enough, if they build up their team the right way through the draft by making the best trades possible. So it's just really good for the NBA. It shows that we still have competitive balance, that you can still build up your team through the draft, and no matter where you play, you can still be a great team and have a chance to win a championship. It's a great statement for the NBA, and I'm definitely looking forward to watching the rest of the series. Now, as for the series in general, we've already had game one at the time of making this video. Game one was yesterday. The Suns won by 13 points, and I think a lot of people think it's going to be a sweep or something like that. I think overall the Bucks will bounce back. Giannis is going to get better. He might have been a little rusty for missing the last two games because of his knee injury. So for me, I think it's going to be a close series. I'm pretty neutral. I just want to see a good series. So, you know what? I'm going to say Suns in 7. Why not? I want to see a close series. I think both teams still have a very good chance of winning. I think it's going to be close. So I say Suns in 7, but I just want to see a great series. But overall, I'm just glad that we have this series and that we can have two small market teams trying to win a championship. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Let me know your opinions on who's going to win this series in the comments below. If whether or not you think this is good for the NBA and agree with me or disagree with me, let me know. I love to hear all your opinions. And like the video if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already and you love basketball and other sports like baseball and football. We talk about all that on this channel. I would appreciate and love all your support. Thanks again, guys, for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.